When a knight is in the central positions, that is central squares, d4, d5, e4, e5, it can be very powerful. Let's look at like what are the squares that a knight can reach out to in 1, 2 and 3 steps, and let's also look at like what is the coverage of the total chessboard in 3 moves if the knight is starting from one of these central squares. In the first step, it's going to be the circle that is formed around the knight. So these are the positions that most of the people would be aware of. So let's use green color for the squares that it can reach in one move, and from each of this position again you can consider a circle that will be formed. So now let's say if you start with this particular square, so these are going to be the squares that it will be able to reach out to, and similarly let's start with this as well. So these are the squares for this, and similarly let's do for this. Now let's do for the other square, other green squares. Let's start with this. So these are the squares. Let's start with this. It's going to be this. Similarly, let's go for this. It's going to be this. The squares. I think I have pretty much covered. So for this, these are squares. Let's start with this. For this, these are squares. Okay. So now these red circles or the rings shows the positions where it can reach in 2 steps, and from red again we can draw a similar set of like 8 squares or 8 circles that it can reach out to. So if you start with this square, let's just look at quickly. So this is not covered, so this is going to be the one, and similarly this, and similarly if you start with this, it's going to cover this square. This is already covered, this square. And just start with this square. So similarly, let's start with like all red squares and see like what are the squares that are covered. So starting with this, we know this too. Starting with this is pretty much covered. So then let's start from here. So this is covered. So if you start from this is covered. If you start from this will be covered. If you start from this too, this square is covered. Similarly, if you start from this will be covered. If you start from this is covered, this is covered. And if you start from this, these two are covered. If you start from this is covered. And if you start from this one, let's look at it. So if you take this square, this is covered. If you take this is covered. So we kind of like start seeing a pattern here. So there are like 4 squares which are not covered in a 5 cross 5, and then if you start with this is covered, this is covered, and if you start with this is covered, which which also means if you start with this is covered, and similarly if you start with this is also covered. So you can pretty much look at, there are 1 2 3 4 and 5 squares which is in the opposite direction. As you can see here, almost all the squares are covered other than the 5. And similarly, if you start with any of these 4 positions, you will see that there are 4 squares that are not covered by the knight in the 5 cross 5 square in the first 3 steps, and there's one diagonally opposite square towards the corner of the board which is not covered. So this kind of like shows you that knight can cover most of the squares in 3 steps. So that's what makes knight dangerous, because during the movement also it is attacking the other pieces in place, and at the same time you can be sure that it can reach any of the squares in 3 steps pretty much. So that's the real power of knight. So hope you are able to visualize this and you will be able to use it in the games. Thank you.